I should have just been practicing, for my university debate. But because I opened YouTube, you know, scrolling for a while, and then I got something that is, I got, hooked by this news or update that has been going on in Indonesia, and also has significant effect in my surrounding. There is a riot basically, and also I got hooked by another very sad update, about this like French streamer that, you know, who just recently passed away in his live stream because of, he was being beaten, he was bullied and tortured by his friends. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, shit, like I couldn't focus on my stuff really. Like, it's now 11:30, almost midnight. I've spent like just scrolling around, looking up those things that doesn't have any relevance to my goals. I feel like, okay, I'm just disappointed. Okay, I should have, practice my debate, practicing my argument. I still feel like I don't know, I still don't know anything yet about this world, about this debate thing, because, I'm a novice, I'm a beginner, and, the good thing is there is a guidebook that, eventually made me realize that, man, my English is, or my overall comprehension skills is absolutely shitty. And, I feel like I am being struck by this reality that I do not know how to properly presenting my argument effectively, because today in today's in this in today in the afternoon, I I tried to practice for the first time, try to literally, building my own argument with my own thought for this particular motion. In the afternoon, at the canteen, at the campus canteen, alone, while waiting for my friends, because at that time I was waiting for the, there was a committee meeting for, an event in my campus. And I was like, yeah, I was struck by how poor I was, like, and how poor I am still now. Like, fuck, man. Like, oh, man. I don't know. Like, I'm just like really, really embarrassed, guys. Like, literally, really, very, very insecure. I've seen these people on YouTube, from the previous debate, NUDC 2023, 2024. I've seen these videos. Holy shit. They're absolutely, I don't know, it's just impressive, I thought they're very, very capable in doing this shit. And then I got, I got exposure. I got another exposure by debate competition from, in international scope. I found this YouTube channel called Luigi something. He's a young man, he's a young man who is, who gives, advice or basically tips for a BP debate. But it wasn't just regular tips. He was he was really passionate, and he was clearly very master at this, you know, um, thing at debate. He was definitely a devoted young man, and I also watch his case, preparation process for, making an argument from the beginning until the end, and he started to throw like a bunch of odds, weird vocabularies that I wasn't familiar, and I started to looking up, and then you know I gradually I started to understand them. I started to understand the concept that he was giving to me. Yeah, and I don't know. I can understand most of them. Like I cannot understand, but like I know what he was saying is like myth, like it's a myth, it's 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 a diamond, something that is very valuable. And I started to watch that over and over again. I started to like replay it, especially I replay something that I couldn't understand the most. And for only 2 days I have been devoted myself into debate. I feel like my English is, I don't know, it is more advanced, but in a way that I am more comfortable in saying what I want to say. Like the pressure is, of course, it is subside, but I feel like my basic or my just grammar basic is still shitty actually, but I don't want to care about it. Okay, I don't want to care about it because I've seen like even native speaker do like basic grammar error. So I will put that thing aside and just focus on my communication skill rather than lingering on grammatical stuff or something like that. And yeah, I started to feel like more alive in my speaking. I'm not, I like this, even though I still have like some a little bit of pressure, I am comfortable and I am engaged with my ideas like fully. Like I wasn't worried. I'm not worrying anything, right now. So it's a good thing. I don't know what I'm saying in this video. like what kind of topic that what's the point of this video? I don't know why should I clarify this, but yeah, just it's, it's just a sketch in video for my thoughts. And I believe that if I do this, if I constantly learning to improve my argument, to improve my communication skill, to improve my what is the noun for argument? Argument is a noun, right? Yeah, to improve my the verb of argument, an act of arguing. No, I don't think so. Yeah, communication skill, like presenting my argument. If I constantly do that, if I constantly focus on improving in that particular area, I think um, I think this is what I've been trying to like to look for. This is what I've been trying to. I feel like this whole time um, I've been practicing English. I feel like there is some times that I'd been trying to um, look. I'd been feeling like there is something is missing, in this process. Like I felt like my um, method of learning wasn't effective, and I felt like I'm stuck and etc. It's fucking ads. Whatever. Yeah, but since ever since I learned about debate, it's different. My English is different, like for real, it's different. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like I'm more confident in saying. I feel like I am more confident to say anything. Like anything. And yeah. Right now I'm just proud of myself, and I'm celebrating for myself right now. I don't know what's gonna happen like tomorrow, but the process of hating yourself is, I think it's important as well, because just this afternoon, I really hated myself in the process of reading the guidebook of NUDC. Try to understand, like, what's that, the component, like, try to understand, like, the guidebook is very comprehensive. I've never seen a guidebook, or basically a debate. It's just like any other um any other competition, right? But the rules, the everything, the rules, how are you gonna perform in this debate, like, it's very comprehensive, and I like it. It's just like a game that has so many underlying you know uh, that has a deep lore, even though I haven't finished any games that have that characteristic, like has deep lore, that is very complex. Like, that is my that was my I was against with that kind of game, because I wasn't raised like in a video game, in a type of video game that story based game, because I think people who grew up in that people who grew up with that kind of game is like more people who live in, in the West, who are more um, individual, who are in the individual. But here in Indonesia, we live as most of the time as a collective. We me especially me personally, like, I also can represent most of my friends doesn't have the privilege to like experience something like for themselves. Like they have to be with other people, because when I was a kid, there's a lot there are lots of, you know PlayStation rental. you know it it was only it costed only 2,000 rupiah, very cheap. But even the cost is cheap, we have to like gather the money together, because you know at that time, like, we're just like very poor, like, but we didn't realize that we are poor at all. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I think the participating in this debate, even though I still haven't, performed yet, because I'm going to perform on 19th on September 19th. The process of like learning, understanding new terminologies, new concepts, new mechanics of, there because there are lots of um you know a method on, presenting your ideas. And knowing about that, I don't know if what I just said is correct. Yet, and understanding that, knowing that, realizing that makes me, it opens myself to, it's kind of hard to say. It opens myself to like, it's just fun, actually. It doesn't have to be that deep, I think. It's just fun. It is fun. It is really fun. The feeling of you being overwhelmed, by this is good, It is good. I don't know if I am just romanticize. I don't know if I'm just romanticizing this feeling, but let's see tomorrow. If I'm going to say, if different thing, the opposite thing. This is this is the, holy shit, another ads. Okay, whatever. This is the wait, hold on. I hate it. I don't know why this ad can exist. Like, fuck. Holy shit, man. I don't know. I don't understand that. I use like OBS feature. There's like a browser. In my previous video, I don't have any ad though. Like, I don't know why it's different. I don't know. I don't understand that. So, yeah, this is what I just. Fuck. I don't care. This is what I just read. What I just wrote. I don't know. It's literally it's really really bad, dog. Like, it's really bad. And I try to presenting my argument to ChatGPT, right? And it only lasts for like 2 minutes because I don't have anything to say no more. It only, it only like, it only lasts for 2 minutes, whilst the um the maximum of your time speech is 7 minutes. So like that's crazy. I don't know if anyone has ever um you know has ever given a speech for only 2 minutes or for only like 3 minutes. I don't know, but like I was just laughing my ass off. Like 2 minutes? Like fuck, man, 2 minutes? Are you fucking serious? Like basically, um, the motion is the motion is this house believes that the pursuit of wealth is immoral. So um what's that? Tracking? You analyzing the keywords, like, okay, pursuit of wealth. I'm thinking of a way, a way of pursuing something. How can you pursue wealth? And what is wealth? Like, it's like money, you know. I thought it was just money. Okay, wealth is about money. That's all. That's all. I didn't think anything except money. Like, it actually can be like, power, and then fame, etc. I only define it as money, which is not really. It is. I don't know if it's invalid or valid. Yes, invalid. Invalid or validity is something that I inquired the most in my speech. Like, that was the thing that is on my mind. Okay, if I define wealth as money, is this like valid? And then what is immoral? Like, immoral is like something that can make people like, that can affect negative impact to people. Like, I was like really really confused by that. And then my argument is this: I wrote OG, and then the most vulnerable actors in this case is lower to middle class people, parenthesis, excluding the rich. Because I was thinking, like, how do you build the scenario for this? Like, so I was just imagining that the most vulnerable people in this case is the lower to middle class. And I was thinking about whether or not this framing is valid, because again, I was I was wondering a lot about the validity of my approach, and then that's it. That was my argument. Oh, it goes like this more. Pursuing of wealth, especially for these vulnerable actors, can be so devastating and making them to sacrifice a lot in their life. Basically, I was just trying to say that in order for you to be rich, you have to spend more time making money. You know what I mean? And then in order to do that, you have to sacrifice your time with your family, with your loved ones. You have to sacrifice your health, and which these things are inherently like bad. But I'm just thinking right now that the opposition can rebut it like, No, your argument is ignorant because this argument is actually not is actually go all in that pursuing wealth, the options of pursuing wealth are bad completely, that are completely bad, you know. But I didn't realize that in pursuing wealth there are also like ways for you to like not ignore your family, for example, by investment, for example, and then by, I don't know, making content. That is also possible, because content can, because I think content creation can bring you longevity, financially. And what else? Investment, but what kind of investment? You have to be specific, right? And then I don't know. So my argument was just like, so the opening government argument I was trying to present is, you cannot pursuing you cannot pursue wealth by doing a regular job like 9 to 5 job, you know, which this job relates to people in lower to middle class, you know. And also ChatGPT gives me very interesting topic, that a very interesting perspective, that also an already wealthy people also can be affected by this pursuit of wealth, even though this doesn't state like this is like endless pursuit of wealth, but this is like the like pursuit of wealth is immoral. How it is immoral? Because people can be affected, other people can be affected by, how can other people be affected, be negatively affected by the way you pursuing your wealth? That is basically the question that can trigger you to start building your argument. So we already know that, okay, this is the majority of the people, which is the lower to the middle class. And then how is it immoral? So immoral is that can harm other people. So how pursuing wealth can harm other people. Blah 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 blah. You can explore that very freely on that. See, it was fun, but it it is fun, especially if you're. I'm still an ignorant right now. I'm still a fool right now. I don't have like an ideal version of what good debate is. I just want to learn and learn and learn, without knowing the end, because there is no way that I can know the end of this. This is too broad, okay? And it is not a problem for me. I'm willing to strive myself in it. Like, this is fun. I don't care how am I going to end up with this. This is fun, okay? Goodbye. 30 minutes video. Thank you so much for watching.